because there's nothing more expensive than being ill. So times have changed and healing results are tougher than ever. Why? This is definitely true. As a physician, as a clinic, we have seen that in the last dozen years, it seems like, wow, the things that we used to do worked like this, and now all of a sudden we're having to do a song and dance and do it more comprehensive and go higher in dosage and really go after it full tilt before we get results with some patients. It's like having to punch through an extra layer. And you know what? We do have to punch through an extra layer. It's the layer is thicker for us to punch through because the DNA is being damaged right now. This is a cumulative effect, hence the bucket theory. And the bucket theory is this, is that we are surrounded by unbelievable amounts of ionization. And just think of just a few little factoids. How much time do we spend in front of the TV and computer screen now? The computer screen really wasn't much of a topic 20 years ago. Now, it seems like everyone is exposed to a fairly big amount. A study shows that cell phones radiation have a profound impact. We are really in the very beginning of understanding it. But I do know, I've seen several small pilot studies, but good enough to be able to talk about here, that shows that if you carry it in your pocket, now this is for males, it decreases sperm motility by 60% on average in just 4 weeks. Isn't that absolutely amazing? There was disbelief about this one, so the test was repeated. No, I would not use this as birth control pill. So I saw a few knowing glances there. So the test was repeated and same results, just slightly different results, but really essentially the same. But it depletes certain amounts of memory. So it affects us in ways that we just don't know. That's just the cell phone. Just think of the clock by your bed. Just think of everything we're exposed to. Folks, this causes changes in our DNA. It damages our DNA. It's called ionization. The pollutants that we have, we estimate that we are adding to the list of pollutants about 10,000 new chemicals every 2 years. We cannot keep track of it. There's no way we can test it all. In fact, what we are testing for safety and efficacy is about 1 to 2% of new chemicals being approved. There is no keeping up with it. We are under such assault today that we weren't under even just 20 years ago. Add to that the generational, the cumulative effect. And here it is. Our grandparents started this experiment of refined food, right? That's about when food in boxes started arriving. And that's also when antibiotics arrived and the first pharmaceuticals really became getting traction. So there was a level of increased toxicity in our grandparents. The Industrial Revolution was just behind them. That then got passed over to our parents. 20% of mom's pollutants gets passed on to the baby. Baby then has that extra 20% and accumulates the extra from that environment and passes it on then to us. So you can see that we are the recipients of several layers of pollution, aren't we? And they are stored in our fat cells and the nervous system cells. They are all over our body. And as we age, they leach out and they express themselves more and more. On top of that, we have the stresses of today, as well as really the increased stresses of just living 24/7. That common word, there's just non-stop stress, where if you have to go, this is my common, I wear this one out to death, but here it is. If you forgot something for the next day, you have to run to Meijer at 11 o'clock at night, you can do it, right? And everybody's looking at me like, yeah, so? It's where culturally in Europe And not that Europe is great. I don't want to give you that idea at all. But there's a couple things that are good about Europe that we don't have, and same vice versa. And here's one of them. Their life is very rhythmic, where stores will close, kaboom, you're not getting in. The only thing open is a few gas stations on the highway. That's it. So there's no quick running to the store anymore. You can't disrupt your life. Does that make sense? Simple little thing, I know. But still, running to the store at 11 o'clock at night is a stressor, isn't it? It is for me when I have to run and get a poster board for the project for the next day for one of my kids. Why didn't you take care of that yesterday? All right, so. And nutrition feeds the energy of life. I'm going somewhere with all this, so this seems like a weird jump. Antioxidants to reduce inflammatory and free radical processes. Fatty acids for all membrane integrity, detox support, and methyl groups for proper genetic expression cellular function. This is what I look for in a multiple vitamin to do for us. Something that feeds our ATP production. Because when we have DNA changes, that changes mitochondria. Mitochondria is the little things within the cell that produces ATP. ATP is the currency of energy. So if somebody comes to me with chronic fatigue, or chronic depression, or chronic autoimmune disease, chronic inflammation, I know there ultimately is an ATP production problem.
Middle of a health revolution. We're spending £300 million a year on pills that some believe to be an amazing natural way to prevent or even cure some of our most deadly diseases. And every day, millions of people take vitamin supplements convinced of their power to keep them healthy.
If you want to lead a long and healthy life, eat right and take supplements.
Like millions of people in Britain, they believe vitamin supplements are crucial to a happy and vigorous future.
I hope my vitamins will protect me from any form of cancer, premature aging, keep my eyesight, hearing, all my faculties intact as well.
But do vitamins really have such remarkable powers? Vitamins are nothing more than chemicals that occur naturally in food. Our bodies cannot produce them themselves, and nearly a century ago, scientists discovered just how vital they were for our health.
Vitamins are essential for a healthy body. We can't exist without them.
They found that a whole host of diseases weren't caused by infections from viruses or bacteria, but simply by the lack of these vitamins.
It's very rewarding when a person comes in with a medical condition or clinical condition, and we can identify that as a vitamin deficiency, treat them with vitamins and see them get better.
Just by making sure people ate the right vitamins, a whole string of what became known as deficiency diseases could be eradicated. Vitamin A, found in dairy products, liver and fish, prevents blindness and growth deformities. Vitamin C, from oranges and other citrus fruit, has all but ended scurvy. And vitamin D, found in fish, means children need no longer grow up with rickets. Scientists had found our food contained a cheap and simple way to end the suffering of millions of people around the world.
The discovery of vitamins was a landmark in modern medicine. It was the first example where we learned that diseases may be caused not just by infectious agents, but by the simple absence of a single substance from our diet, a vitamin. That a vitamin deficiency could be the cause of disease and death.
Vitamins, without doubt, are vital to our health. And it remains possible that high-dose vitamin supplements will one day be proven to protect against illnesses like heart disease and cancer.